How's it going, everybody? It's Nick Payne with Facemask Fantasy, reacting to the news coming directly from 49ers running back Raheem Mostert. Mostert just posted on social media a short while ago that, quote, after consulting with multiple doctors and weighing his options, Mostert will be having season-ending surgery to repair his knee, unquote. First of all, this is awful, brutal news for Mostert, a player who has dealt with injuries throughout his career, bounced back, gotten hurt, bounced back again. We hope the best for Mostert in his recovery. He's an older running back at this point, so his future in the NFL is probably very much in question, but that's not the concern right now. Obviously, the focus is that Mostert returns to full health and is good moving forward. Best wishes to Raheem in that regard. As far as fantasy purposes go, we have been profiling Elijah Mitchell in the past couple of days on this channel, and were as recently as 24 hours ago advocating for fantasy managers to spend high waiver claims and or a solid chunk of your FOB budget, as much as 30% on Elijah Mitchell this week. Those numbers have gone up. Not only is he the top waiver claim in all formats, but I'm calling my shot. If you need a running back or you just want the running back depth, as much as 50% of your FOB budget, maybe even higher if you need a running back, absolutely be spent on Mitchell at this point. Trey Sermon is already rostered in all likelihood in pretty much every format. I highly doubt anybody dropped him just because he was a healthy scratch week one. Sermon obviously mixes in, but he's probably not available in your league. Mitchell probably is. Do what you have to do to get him on your roster. As of right now, Mitchell is playing ahead of Trey Sermon, though that could change quickly in this 49ers backfield that often divvies up carries to multiple players. Sermon's outlook is a little bit better now coming after week one, but that healthy scratch is still something that should be monitored. I believe Mitchell remains a high priority waiver pickup this week with this news. Again, I'm willing to go up as high as 50% of your FOB budget to acquire Mitchell. If you do not want to spend that much money on a 49ers running back who also just so happens to be a 6th round pick, which can be fair, there's a contrarian argument to be had here, you can take a look at JaMycal Hasty, who the team kept around after there were questions about whether he'd make the team in the offseason. He's certainly going to have more of a role now. Maybe he sprinkles in. He's probably not going to be featured ahead of either Mitchell or Sermon, but Hasty's worth a look on waivers. You probably don't have to spend the top waiver claim on him. He might be able to sneak by as just a free agent pickup after waivers clear, and if you have FOB, you can spend a small amount on him, maybe say around $3-4. I wouldn't go too much higher than that, maybe around $5, but Hasty presents an alternative, cheaper option if you want to go that route for this backfield. It could be unpredictable moving forward, but with Mostert done for the season, there is a lot of work available here. Remember, Jeff Wilson is still working his way back from his injury. He's not ready yet, so at least for the next couple of months, Elijah Mitchell has a chance to take the reins in this backfield. Sermon might, just because of the draft capital, so he's going to remain involved. But again, he's rostered likely everywhere. He's not somebody that you can pick up. Target Elijah Mitchell. Again, if you could use the running back depth, Mitchell could continue to shine, especially now his opportunity is fully ahead of him, and you could use him as trade bait if he works out. So absolutely viable to spend a lot of your FOB budget and or the number one overall waiver claim on Mitchell this week. Do not be afraid to use it. Do not sit on it. If you could use a running back, even if you don't need a running back, Mitchell presents a very interesting waiver claim early in the season that you could ride for the foreseeable future. This backfield could be hard to predict on a week-to-week basis, but they just lost a member of it, so it comes into focus just a little bit. Sermon likely can be resubmitted into lineups week 2. Obviously, check his status prior to the game. He was a healthy scratch very close to kickoff, so make sure you're Hawkeyeing your roster if you have Sermon. And then again, Mitchell is a significant waiver claim this week, probably the top claim, and then JaMycal Hasty presents a deep stash flyer that you could probably get for significantly cheaper. What do you guys think about this situation in San Francisco? Put your thoughts in the comment section below, and we can have a conversation about this. Till then, this is Nick Payne with Facemask Fantasy, producing fantasy content for you guys each and every day. Thanks for listening.